So in terms of the programs that you guys are actually funding and implementing, do you guys have like an annual budget to say, in 2017 we've set aside this amount to do projects in so and so countries? So how has been the trend? Let's say, for example, making a comparison with last year, or maybe 2017 and 2018, how has been the trend? Is the grant increasing, or is it decreasing, or is it stable, and why?
Okay, very good question. So we definitely work with the budget, and our budgets are dependent on how the market responds. So as you know, we work with different cooperating partners. We have donors coming in from different countries in the West, America, America, UK, Sweden, Canada. We also have some big corporates we work with. We also have individuals supporting our work. So definitely we have a set budget. So budgets depend on different countries. They're quite different, but just as a standard, us as WaterAid within the Southern Africa region, for us to be viable and as well to work on good quality programs, we ideally need to work with a budget of between 15 to 20 million pounds every year. And for us to achieve that target is not easy, because like I'm saying, with different donors, people give us money with different priorities. So in 1 year it might go up, in another year it might go down. But currently the trend, we actually in the South African, we have been lucky, because we have been on a growth trajectory. We have had some good. I think we have been growing at an average of about between 20 and 30% every year. But the market changes. I mean, right now there are global pressures happening. There is refugee crisis happening. There is Brexit happening. There is the American people changing their policies in terms of where they put their own money. So we are seeing a drop in terms of where we get money. Even some of the big corporates which give us money, some of them are not getting much profit. So we are seeing a drop in terms of money coming in to fund this piece of work. But as WaterAid, we continuously work to try and find the necessary resources to operate.
And you mentioned about the issue of the context in which the different countries are operating in, and I understand that it is also part of the planning to say which country needs what, and which country should be allocated what. And now I want to know, as WaterAid, do you guys, or have you ever considered coming up with probably a budget to just say, this is the budget we're putting aside in case that there is a natural disaster within the region that needs our intervention, we then use this fund. For example, we recently had the cyclone Ida, and currently people are not really in a good best hygiene state. So have you guys, or are you still in the plan of actually making sure that there's a budget for that?
So as WaterAid, because we are actually more focused on developmental work. So in cases of, let's say, where Idai happened, we have made commitments to support. We don't really work in relief work, but we have made commitment to support some of the organizations which have specialist skills to work in those, especially in countries where we have presence, in Malawi and countries like Mozambique where we have presence. So we have supported, but where we will keep an eye on is now to see how do we support the recovery component. So like you've mentioned, hygiene. So we're already trying to invest with these different specialist organizations to bring in our technical expertise. Like in Mozambique, already we've recruited and appointed people who are already working with the different networks to provide our expertise about what's the need for water, sanitation, and hygiene. And so it's working. Where we don't have the capacity to go in, we'll definitely support organizations where we feel there's a specialist. But remember, for us to have impact, we don't want to do big things like when we go to a country like Mozambique, we don't want to work in every city, but we want to work with 2 or 3 provinces where we know will make high impact, and as well because we will not be there every day, but we also want to show the different governments that this is how it can be done, this is the quality you can do, and then hopefully that when they budget for their own national budget, they then can copy the work we have done and do it in other places across the countries.
Okay guys, you heard it for yourself, and feel free if you have other questions that you want to place, follow-up questions, you can send us a message on our Facebook page, and don't forget to subscribe on our YouTube channel, follow us on Twitter.